Hello. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a Sonobe unit. It takes 30 of these Sonobe units to be able to make an icosahedron. It's basically just a big paper ball, but it has 20 points, which is why it's called an icosahedron. So you're going to start out with a square piece of paper. Here I have a 5.5 by 5.5 inch piece of paper, but this smaller icosahedron was made with 3-inch by 3-inch squares of paper. So you're going to start by taking the paper and folding it in half. Okay. Now we're going to open that piece of paper back up. And along that middle crease, we're going to take the left side and we're going to put it along the middle crease, making sure to line it up nice and tight and creasing it really well. So now we have the left flap, and we're going to do the same for the right. Run it right along that little crease there and push down nice and tight. So once we have that, we're going to take it and fold it in half, making sure that the two edges line up really nicely. The nicer you line up the folds now, the easier it will be to put together your icosahedron. Okay, so now we're going to open this back up, and you'll have the middle crease here, and we're going to turn it on its side. And we're going to start this bottom piece here is going to line up along with the middle piece here. So it's going to fold up like this, and you're going to crease it nice and tight. I'm going to put it on the table just to really get it nice and tight. Okay. Now we're going to open that back up. There should be a folded over triangle at the top here. That means you did that right. Or at least a triangle made up top. Sometimes it doesn't completely fold over, sometimes it just sticks out. Either way is okay. So now we're going to do the same along the top side. This top side is going to run along this middle crease that we have here. So it's going to fold over like so. And we're going to crease it really nice and tight. So now we're going to open it back up, and up top you should have what looks similar to a shirt collar with these two flaps up here. Okay, so now we're going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this bottom is going to line up along this middle crease here. So you're going to point it up. And crease it really tight. Okay. Now we're going to undo that piece, and we're going to do the same for the top right. We're going to fold it so that the top lines up with the middle, and fold it over. And crease really nicely. Okay, so now we're going to open this back up, and up top here there should be a shirt collar, and there's a shirt collar that we already did on the bottom. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to open the flap on the left side. Currently both triangles, as you can see, are pointed down. We want the one that is closest to us on the bottom left to point up. So now, as you can see, mine points up and this one points down. Okay. And I'm going to put it on the table, like I said, just to make that really nice and flat. Okay, so now we're going to make another triangle using this point that we just made from lifting this triangle flap up. It's going to connect along this middle crease here and this crease that runs along here. It's going to fold over just like so. So that folded over. Okay, so now we're going to put it back so that the bottom left part is towards us, and we're going to close up this left flap again. So I still have our shirt collar up top, but there's a bigger gap of the triangle over here and half of the shirt collar on this side. Now we're going to flip it 180 degrees like so, keeping this flap nice and tight down to the ground. And we're going to open up the left flap again. We're going to do the same thing. So that instead of them both of the triangles pointing down, the one closest to us on the bottom left is going to actually point up and lay flat. We're going to crease that nice and tight. And then we're going to make another small triangle connecting the middle point here and the long point here. Just going to fold over like that. Okay. And then we're going to lay back down the table and close that flap again. And push down really nice and tight just to make sure it all lays flat. Now these tiny shirt collar triangles will make those lay flat once again too. So instead of them pointing up, they're going to lay flat. Okay, so now we should have a big triangle space down here and a big triangle space up here. That's perfect. We're going to open the left flap again. Okay, and we're going to take this top right piece. There's a big crease that runs right along down to the middle, and we're going to fold that over. And then we're going to close the left flap once again. I'm going to put it on the table and really just push down nice and hard. Okay, so now we have the point of the triangle up top. Now, there should be a little pocket right here. See where I got my finger? Little pocket. We're going to take this bottom corner down here and we're going to flip it up into that pocket. And it should tuck nice and tight in there. And if you need to, you can push it in, but it'll lay right along that crease. So at the end, what you will have is a rhombus. Now there's one big crease running along here, and there's a shorter one running along here. It's really, really big because there's actually pockets, but we won't find that. We're gonna fold the top down along the short one so that it lays like this. And I'm just gonna make the points go up. Kind of like a sailboat or something. Okay, so now one side has this pocket, and this side does not have any pocket. But there is a faint little crease that runs right along here. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this triangle back so that both of the pockets are showing. We're going to crease that nice and tight. Okay, now we're going to flip it over. See, it's already starting to look like an accordion here. And we're going to do the same thing. There's a little crease right here, and we're going to push this back so that the big pockets are showing. We're going to push this down nice and tight, and there should be the pockets on both sides of your little triangle that you just made. And now when you open it up, it kind of pops open, and we have our finished Sonobe unit. Now, like I said, it takes 30 of these Sonobe units to make one icosahedron. But this Sonobe unit is a little bit bigger, so it'll make a bigger icosahedron. So you continue with this step, and then when you are ready and you have all 30 Sonobe units, you're going to put it together your icosahedron. You will do this by putting the point of one into the pocket that runs along here of the other. And they'll all go together. And those make little triangles. And those are your points. So you'll continue putting more Sonobe units into the pockets of others until it all comes together into one big ball. Good luck and have fun.